Mr. President, Dr. Biden, President Obama, Mrs. Obama, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this ceremony. I'm John Rogers, the chairman of the White House Historical Association, and on behalf of the women and men of the association, I'm thrilled to celebrate with all of you the presentation of two magnificent American portraits today to honor and commemorate the indelible legacy of our 44th President and First Lady. Mrs. Obama, President Obama, it is a privilege to be able to carry forward this time-honored tradition of unveiling the official portraits and welcome them to the White House to be forever accessible and viewed by the public on these historic walls. Since its founding in 1961 by First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy, the White House Historical Association has been of service and our privilege to be able to acquire official portraits of those who previously were missing from the White House collection and to commission all of the portraits on record of each President and First Lady since our founding. Surviving the modern era of photography and film and technology, few mediums can transport us with such immediacy and intimacy than the American portrait, capturing at once the power, the restraint, the courage, and the beauty of the human spirit. The portraits of our first family stand apart, each a painstaking exploration of a singular person, a human life conveyed in still, otherwise ever in motion and fulfilling the obligations to their oath. More than just the unveiling of our assemblage today, it's integral to the broader set of symbols and rituals and emblematic gestures distinctly American that sustain the spirit.
Come work with me. and there's someone else that I'd like to acknowledge tonight, Mrs. Robinson. This is your house as well. It's good to see you again, Mom. It really is. It's also good to see Miss Wilson, who known affectionately as Mama Kay. One of your best friends and Malia and Sasha's godmother. And as they say in Southern Delhi, you've done good, kid. And President Kennedy once observed that every president must endure the gap between what he would like and what is possible. He was right. The history books are full of stories about presidents trying to bridge that gap. Stories that include the burdens of the office, the difficult decisions, how the work is always serious and often solemn. And all of that's true, but so is this. With Barack as our president, we got up every day and went to work full of hope, for real, full of purpose, and excited about the possibility before us. There are few people I've ever known with more integrity, decency, and moral courage than Barack Obama. Mr. President, nothing could have prepared me better or more to become President of the United States than be at your side for 8 years. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, no matter what the issue was, no matter how difficult, no matter what it was about, doing it, you never did it with just the easy way, what the easy way out was. It was never about doing it that way. It was always about doing what was right, literally. You know, just go down the list of historic presidencies. He never gave up on the simple truth that health care was a right for all Americans. When so many were telling him, including me at one point, take a compromise. We weren't sure we could get anything done on ACA. American people. Portraits that are going to hang on the walls of this sacred place, the People's House, forever. And a reminder of all here and now for those to come to power that hope and change matters. Barack and Michelle, it's my honor to invite you both to the stage for the unveiling of your official portraits. Come on up.
you go. It was important to find the right people to paint them. I want to thank Sharon Sprung for capturing everything I love about Michelle. Her grace, her intelligence, and the fact that she's fine. Just saying. She is. Her portrait is stunning. And I want to thank Robert McCurdy for taking on a much more difficult subject and doing a fantastic job with mine. Robert is known for his paintings of public figures. Toni Morrison, the Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Muhammad Ali. But what I love about Robert's work is that he paints people exactly the way they are, for better or worse. He captures every wrinkle on your face, every crease in your shirt. You'll note that he refused to hide any of my gray hairs, refused my request to make my ears smaller. He also talked me out of wearing a tan suit, by the way. His work is so precise that at first glance it looks like a photograph. And Robert also paints his subjects looking straight ahead. So it feels like you're face to face, forming a connection. And that appealed to me, in part because presidents so often get airbrushed, even take on a mythical status, especially after you've gone, and people forget all the stuff they didn't like about you. But what you realize when you're sitting behind that desk, and what I want people to remember about Michelle and me, is that presidents and first ladies are human beings like everyone else. We have our gifts, we have our flaws. You've all experienced mine. We have good days and bad days. We feel the same joy and sadness, frustration and hope. And while it takes a certain amount of self-confidence to be president, there are nights where we lie awake wondering if this or that decision was the right one. I've always described the presidency as a relay race. You take the baton from someone, you run your leg as hard and as well as you can, and then you hand it off to someone else, knowing that your work will be incomplete. The portraits hanging in the White House chronicle the runners in that race, each of us tasked with trying to bring the country we love closer to its highest aspirations. And when future generations walk these halls and look up at these portraits, I hope they get a better, honest sense of who Michelle and I were. And I hope they leave with a deeper understanding that if we could make it here, maybe they can too. They can do remarkable things too. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce someone who needs no introduction. Michelle was the best thing about living in the White House, and let me tell you, the pastry chefs here deliver delicious pies on request. So that is saying something. I could not ask for a better life partner, And in my humble opinion, America could not have asked for a better First Lady. Please give it up for Michelle Obama.
Oh, well, let me thank my husband, first of all, for such spicy remarks. And of course, thank you to Joe and Jill, President Biden, and First Lady Jill Biden. Thank you for inviting us back. This means so much to us. We were saying at lunch that the girls have lived in this house longer than they've lived anywhere. And so this, as odd of a home as this can be, as wonderful as it can be, it is a special place because we've raised our girls here. And it means so much to come back to friends and to be able to spend time talking about our girls. And so I am grateful to both of you for the work that you're doing, the love that you're showing us, our staff, and the work that you're doing for this country. Thank you so much. And of course, to Vice President Harris, and I love to say this, second gentleman, Imhoff. Let's say it again, second gentleman. You're doing a great job. Thank you for joining us today. And I can't go any further without, of course, acknowledging all of the amazing staff, friends. You're more than staff, you're friends, you're family to us, particularly the people who've been part of my team over the years. I don't have time to name everyone, thank goodness. But you all know who you are, from the campaign to the White House to today. I would not be who I am without your passion and your faith. And Sharon now joins a small but mighty group of women who've painted an official portrait here at the White House. And I'm thrilled that this extraordinary work is going to be enshrined forever as part of our nation's history. But Sharon, it was wonderful to work with you. You are a true spirit. That's one of the reasons why we connected. Your work is phenomenal, but it was your essence, your soul, the way you saw me, the way we interacted, and it shows in this beautiful work. So thank you for your brilliance, your artistry, and your patience in this process. I remember I went to see the work in Brooklyn, and poor Sharon, because no one is supposed to know who the artists are, so her studio is her home. And so she had this piece in her home. You couldn't have guests over. You were frightened that it would get out. You just wanted it out of your space. And every year I thought about, she must be going crazy. So thank you so much. Let's give them both a round of applause. Hallowed place are our good efforts and these portraits, portraits that connect our history to the present day, portraits that hang here as history continues to be made. So for me, this day is not just about what has happened, it's also about what could happen. Because a girl like me, she was never supposed to be up there next to Jacqueline Kennedy and Dolly Madison. She was never supposed to live in this house, and she definitely wasn't supposed to serve as First Lady.
Love you, Michelle.
You bet. But I've always wondered, where does that supposed to come from? Who determines it? And too often in this country, people feel like they have to look a certain way or act a certain way to fit in, that they have to make a lot of money or come from a certain group or class or faith in order to matter. But what we're looking at today, a portrait of a biracial kid with an unusual name and the daughter of a water pump operator and a stay-at-home mom, what we are seeing is a reminder that there's a place for everyone in this country. Because as Barack said, the two of us can end up on the walls of the most famous address in the world. Then again, it is so important for every young kid who is doubting themselves to believe that they can too. That is what this country is about. It's not about blood or pedigree or wealth. It's a place where everyone should have a fair shot. Whether you're a kid taking 2 buses and a train just to get to school, or a single mother who's working 2 jobs to put some food. A story that includes every single American in every single corner of the country so that our kids and grandkids can see something more for themselves. And as much as some folks might want us to believe that that story has lost some of its shine, that division and discrimination and everything else might have dimmed its light, I still know, deep in my heart, that what we share, as my husband continues to say, is so much bigger than what we don't. Our democracy is so much stronger than our differences. And this little girl from the South Side is blessed beyond measure to have felt the truth of that fuller story throughout her entire life, never more so than today. So thank you to President Biden, to Sharon, and to all of you today for playing a part in this day and all the days that led to it. And now it is my privilege to introduce someone who is stepping in shoes and doing it well, someone who has devoted so much of her life to education, working to broaden the idea of whose story matters. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend, First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden.